Okay, so we're back here on the Compliance Manager tab, as you can see under our inspections part of the application. So, like I said in the previous video, if you watch that, basically this is a running list of all of your inspections that are existing within the system. So for every piece of equipment, you can scroll down to infinity-ish and see any upcoming, you have a lanyard, you come down, there's a lanyard again, there's a lanyard again, so on and so forth. Um, and so another aspect of this is there's a couple buttons over here, right? And the point of this is to give you a priority list of inspections, so you can come here right when you log into the site and see what's past due, what's pending, what's coming due, those sorts of things. Um, so one of the things that we can do here is you can actually log these inspections, right? So you have two options. You can log it, which this will actually take you to the web form that is assigned to this thing, and you can actually fill it out, submit the inspection, and it'll be logged in as past due. Likewise, there's the missed button, where you can just say, hey, we missed this inspection. We need to just go ahead and get this out of the system, and we'll mark it missed for you. And in this instance, there's only one of the open past due inspections for a harness, but in let's say in the event that you had missed 3 harness inspections, right? For this particular piece of equipment, this would say 3, and you would actually have the option here to only mark this one missed, or likewise you would have mark all of the open past due inspections as missed. So since we only have one, we'll mark this one as missed, and you can see it goes away. And likewise, we'll go ahead and do this with all of them to just go ahead and get them out of our open past due queue. Actually, what I'll do with this one, I'll just log this one so you can see that as well. So you can come in here, you can put in some text, you can fill this form out. Um, let's see, date field, I guess it doesn't really matter. And we'll say this was passed, and you can go ahead and submit that inspection. And you can see it was logged as passed here, but as you can see, the on-time completion is marked as no, which basically says, hey, this thing was not completed on time. And then current closure rate is a 0.0% because we have yet to complete any inspections on time for this particular piece of equipment. So the closure rate is calculated the same as the closure rate here, which is basically, or sorry, rather this one here, which is basically year to date, how many things were closed on time. Okay, so if we go back to that LadSafe, um, that's why the closure rate here is at 0.0%. Okay, so back here, one of the other things that you have available to you is on any pending inspection, any inspection that's not actually past due, you have the ability to edit it, right? So if I open up this edit tab, one thing you can see is you can actually edit the due date. And so let's see, October 15th is when this is actually due, and October 15th, oh, hey, this falls on a Sunday. So let's go ahead and bump this back to the 13th so it doesn't so we get the notification to actually do it in the same week in the same time frame, but it doesn't affect our closure rate because it won't go past due on Sunday when everyone's out of the office. So we can go ahead and mark that update. Oh, sorry. You have to mark the dates forward, which is a constraint on the system. You can't, essentially, you can't backdate. One of the constraints we have in the system is that you can't backdate dates, so that you can't say, oh, well, it was actually due this day and I marked it early, and you can't basically uh, take advantage of your closure rates, let's say. So you have to mark it up forward. So we'll say we'll mark it for the 16th. There we go. So now we can see that it's been changed for the 16th. But if we go down to the next month, it's still due the 15th of the following month, right? So let's say we actually wanted to change this to be due on the 18th of every month. right? We just wanted to get it into a different day that it recurs and falls on every month. So what you could do is you could actually come in here and change this to the 18th, and then on this to update, you can actually click all inspections. And what this will do is every occurrence of this lanyard inspection, the due date will get updated for every future occurrence to actually fall on the 18th as well. So if we hit update on this, um, it gives you a little pop-up that says, hey, we're updating all the future inspections. It could take a couple minutes, so refresh the page to see updates. I will say usually it'll happen fairly quickly, but not always. So if we go ahead and refresh, you can see harness. Okay, it's due the 19th. Oh no, sorry, I was working on the lanyard. So it's due the 18th. And if we come down to the next one, now it's due November 18th. And if we come down to the next one, December 18th, so you can see that it actually jumped up the lanyard due dates to the 18th for every month. So that's one of the features you have here is you can actually kind of come in and edit the due dates. Again, this is available to the admins of the account admins of your particular account. And then likewise, you have the same feature here, which is to, if you want to log it, you can go ahead and log these inspections, and they'll be marked as done early. Okay, so uh, the only other thing on this page to really point out is we have this export year-to-date inspection report, right? So what this does is if you click on this, this is going to open up a document here, which is just essentially you can open this in Excel or any other spreadsheet-based document. And this is just a CSV that is showing you your current inspection history, right? So when things were completed, who completed them, what the date was, were they completed past due, yes or no, were they marked as a missed or failed or anything like that. And then every inspection gets logged with this unique identifying number. And so these numbers will never repeat. They're sort of a unique identification to the actual inspection that's logged into the system. And this allows us to track changes. So if anyone were to try and mess with the dates to make things look like they weren't past due or anything like that, we can maintain sort of an audit trail and actually see what's happened. There are absolutely times where an inspection's logged on the wrong date and it needs to be reversed and things like that. And those things are absolutely going to be doable. We can always go back and manage this stuff, but these unique identifiers give us a nice audit trail that we can look at to help maintain compliance and keep a direct insight to every activity that happens on a particular inspection or a particular piece of equipment. So that is what the export. Another thing to note is if you have multiple sites, you can actually go into a different site, and this will actually change to export for Daxion 2, which is the site you're on. If I were to go to a different site, right, there's no equipment here that we've assigned to new sites, so nothing shows up here. And if likewise, if I were to actually export this, it would just be an empty file. But this allows you to actually drill into just particular sites if you want to. So you see our export now only has the equipment that's assigned to the Daxion 2 site. So close that out, close that down. Awesome. So that is our compliance manager. And the purpose of this page is really just a high level overview of kind of what's coming due and being able to edit your dates and export information and those sorts of things.